Okay. Well, good evening. We're just getting this set up, so we're having a couple technical difficulties, so bear with us. Hi, I'm Michelle from Calculated Survival, and tonight we're going to be talking about first dates and safety on first dates and awareness. This is my second live, so please be patient and bear with me through the technical difficulties. The last time I did realize that there is a 10-second delay, so I'll try to accommodate for that this time. Let me just set that up for me. I'm just going to get my computer set up here so that I can see who's here with us, and as people join, we can welcome them in. Meanwhile, how about a little whiskey?
Welcome to the Calculated Survival RV channel. This is going to be the sister channel to Calculated Survival.
So we're still working on it. So bear with us for another moment. Bear with us for another moment. Okay, I think we're connected. Here. Here we go. Bear with us for another moment. Okay, I think we're connected. Here. Okay. Okay. So, hi everybody. We have a couple of people in here, so welcome to the Calculated Survival Live. I have just a little bit of feedback here, so let me get that set up.
He asked if you ever had a bad date.
So I do see that somebody asked whether I had a bad date experience. I've had a couple, and it's going to be part of the conversation. So we're going to start a little bit about backgrounds, and then we'll get into experiences and what to do in those situations. So first of all, again, welcome. Hi, I'm Michelle from Calculated Survival. This is my second live, so please be patient and be kind. So whether it's a first date from an app, first date, meeting somebody either abroad or traveling, what do you do? And how to stay safe. So tell me, where was your first date? Was it in a bar or coffee shop? Did you go out to dinner? What are the types of first dates that you've had? And this is not working. So we'll try that. I'm trying to read the chat, so I'm having a little difficulty getting it to come up on the screen properly. It's just not going. So what would you rather be? Whether you'd be in a busy bar or a coffee shop or out to dinner? Maybe let me try it on here. Okay, there we go. All right, so yes, I'm just trying to get it all set here, and we're setting up. So since nobody is responding on what their first date was, so my last first date was at a busy bar. So I always try to choose a busy bar where there's people there, so lots of public place. So there's people around. You don't want to be in a quiet, desolate place. And which would you rather be in? Coffee shop, dinner? I think I prefer the busy place. And have you ever had a bad gut feeling when you were on a first date? I've had a couple. And the best advice is to cut it short and get out of there quickly. Or if you can dismiss the date and have them leave, you can do it that way. I had picked a bar to go to, which was a great bar. It's a biker bar. It's known for the good food and cool atmosphere, good vibe. This guy showed up and he thought he was better than the vibe that we were at. And he kept putting the place down, putting the people down that were there. And I was like so put off by his demeanor that I just told him to leave. Like, just leave your beer. I'll pay for it. Get out. And he ended up leaving. He said, "Oh no, let's go to my place. Let's go to a quiet place." Like, no, you can just leave, and I'll stay here. He did end up leaving, and I had a great time talking to the people at the bar, and had a good night. So it just depends. You just got to work through it. And then the next thing, let's see, we have anybody making any comments? Okay, so what's the first thing that you notice about a date when they come in? You tell me what you notice first. Do you notice their clothes? Do you notice their demeanor? What's your first impressions? For me, I always tend to look for how they hold themselves, how do they carry themselves. If they're like, say, this guy that came in to that biker bar that I picked, he was very uneasy, he was shifty, which made me suspicious. I'm looking for somebody to come in casual and wanting to have a conversation, and that is open to a good time. So moving on to some of the next tips that we're going to do. We're going to talk about security awareness on a first date. So some of the tips that we want to review is about where to meet. So when you're picking a first meeting place, always choose a public place to meet up, because like, you have people around, so if something goes awry, you can either call on somebody or pull somebody aside to get them to call for assistance. I prefer a busy bar. Some people prefer coffee shops that seem more casual, more relaxed. So let me know what you think on what the first date meeting place would look like. The next thing is control your transportation to and from there. So you always want to be able to get yourself there safely, and then if you need to exit quickly, get yourself home safely. So either drive yourself, make sure you have an Uber or a friend available to come pick you up. The next item that we would like to review is a check-in system. So if you're going out on a first date and you don't know this person, you always want to make sure that you have some kind of lifeline or somebody that you need to connect with. So for example, I would tell my daughter, hey, I'm going to be at this place, meeting this person at this time. If you don't hear from me, I'm just going to check in with you in about an hour to make sure things are good and kosher. If you don't hear from me, reach out and make sure that I respond and I'm safe and I'm in a good place. It's like a buddy system for adults. And it could be a best friend, it could be a relative, just somebody that you're connecting with. The next thing is the biggest segment that I wanted to go over tonight, and this is the drink and food awareness. If you're on a first date, or if you're on a date with somebody that you don't really know all that well, you really want to be careful about your food and your drink. You don't want to leave to go to the bathroom and leave your food or your drink unattended. And that is where you can get into items being spiked, or somebody drugging your drink or your food. There are a couple items that are helpful for that. And I think this is the biggest thing for like college parties, and that I'm hoping will be more available to college kids, or that they would use it. So these are like test strips for your drinks. And all you need to do is put a drop on the test strip, and it'll change colors if it's contaminated. And if it's not contaminated, it'll stay the same color. So this is called Check Your Drink, and these are available on Amazon. If it's contaminated, it will change colors. If it changes colors, don't drink what you tested. So the main idea is, if you don't leave your drink unattended. But if you do leave it unattended, have something that you can test it, or order a new fresh drink. Now these strips are tiny, but you need to have something to carry it in. So a couple ideas might be like a little mirror case that you can fold it into. So you could be checking your lipstick, pull it out, and do a quick test. And all it needs is a drop of the drink to test it. I have two ideas here. This one is a double mirror system that you could also put it in, or this one is little compartments in. The test strip is small enough and you can fold it into any of these items and slip it into your purse. I'd really like to have a bracelet system that you could slide it into and pull it out discreetly, but I did not find one like that. So that covers drink safety and food safety. Reading the room. So one of the items that you want to look at is body language. Body language is important when you're with somebody new. You want to kind of gauge how the person is reacting to you and how you feel about him. Kind of trust your gut on this. But in the future, we are going to do a few segments on this. Eric, who is a counterintelligence agent and did a lot of training on that, will go over signs to look for on body language, and we will post those at a later date. Has anybody cut their date short for safety reasons? And I know there's a little delay, so I'm going to wait for a couple seconds to see if anybody posts anything on anybody cutting a date short for safety reasons. I've cut many dates short because I was uncomfortable, or I just felt like the situation wasn't going to go anywhere positive. So if you get that gut feeling, you can either take your phone and say, oh, look, I got an emergency. I need to go. I got to cut this a little short. I got to go. You can do it very politely. If the guy's getting pushy, wants to take you home, definitely cut it short until you're comfortable, and then you get out. If there's a bad personality, weird conversations happen, cut it short. No need to stick around to see if it's going to get any better. If it starts out that way, it can only go downhill. Trust your gut on this. Do not stay to be polite. It's not worth any trouble. It's not worth getting into trouble. Remember, the more training and the more awareness you have, the better your gut's going to be. So I have a couple Q&A questions and answers we can go through and see if anybody's interested in answering along with me. We have the drinks test. When you're on a date and your drink has been left unattended and you went to the bathroom, A, should you keep drinking it? It's no big deal. B, politely ask for a fresh one from the bartender. Or C, switch drinks with your date as a joke. So the correct answer is B, politely ask for a fresh drink, because you don't want to take chances on that. Never take chances with an unattended drink. It's just not worth it, especially if you feel even slightly off on that. And that you could do with your drink if you're feeling like, oh, well, I might trust this guy, but I'll just take the drink with me if I need to go to the bathroom and then bring it with me. So I'm always keeping my drink. Also with drinks, if you're holding a drink and you're in a large party or a gathering, keep your hand over the top of the cup so nobody can drop something into it, and then remove your hand to drink. The pressure move. So if your date keeps pushing you to go into a more private setting or to go back with them to their apartment, what do you do? Do you give in to avoid being rude? That's A. B, stand firm, say no, and control your exit. C, pretend you're sick and sneak away. So that's like the, oh, I'm going to the bathroom and ditch the date move. So the correct answer is stand firm and say no. Control your situation, control your exit. You don't have to give in to your date. You don't owe them anything. You don't have allegiance. You can politely just exit. Say, it's time to go, and leave. Clear boundaries is always important to keep the situation under control. The next item is your ride home. If you're ready to leave, but your date insists on driving you home, what do? A, let them drive. It's polite. B, call your own ride and decline firmly. Or C, walk away without saying anything. Again, I'm going to the bathroom and sneak off is one of the options you could do. And the correct answer is B, call your own ride or decline firmly. If you have your own car, then if you're not comfortable walking out to the parking lot alone, you can always ask for a bartender or go to the reception area in the restaurant and ask for somebody to walk you out to the parking lot. Usually places have security or somebody that would be willing to walk you out. Make sure you get to your car safely. Your gut check. So you're out on the date, something seems off. What do? A, ignore it and stay away. I'm sorry. A, ignore it and stay anyway. B, trust your gut, cut the date short. I think you know where I feel on that. C, text your friend but don't leave. Your instincts are one of your best tools. If your gut is saying something's off, go with your gut and cut the date short. Any way that you think is a safe way to cut the date short. Don't take risks and make sure that you're comfortable with your exit plan. There's also things that happen during a date, like you're on your phone or you're just like trying to check something and your date is like, oh, well, let me check your phone. What do you do in that situation? A, laugh it off. It's no big deal. He's trying to grab your phone. B, take it back firmly. Your phone is your personal lifeline. C, let them use it but watch carefully. Now, this is like a boundary item, and if on a first date or when you're first meeting somebody, they're trying to grab your phone, it's a little concerning anyway. But the correct answer is take it back firmly. It's your personal phone. They do not need to be touching it. So set those clear boundaries and keep them set. Don't let them cross that line. So location is always key on setting up a first date or going out on meeting somebody that you've only met a couple times. If your date suggests moving to a quieter, isolated spot instead of staying to a public place, do you A, go along? They'll probably just want privacy. Or B, suggest another public place instead. Or C, agree but text a friend your location. If you guys were here during my example of my biker bar date, this guy kept wanting to go to a private place. So the correct answer is either suggest a private place or just end the date. Whatever you feel in your gut is going to be best for you. But always stay visible, stay in a public place, especially some place that you can get help if you need help. Now, say you're on a date and your date is an excessive drinker. So fine, a couple drinks, you're laughing, you're having a good time, but it gets to the point where you're like starting to notice like this could be a problem or cause a scene. Or he's drinking heavily and he's getting a little aggressive. Do you A, stay and try to calm them down? B, excuse yourself and leave quickly? Or C, match the drink so they don't feel awkward? Alcohol tends to limit inhibitions, so you always want to put yourself in a place where you protect yourself. So if you feel uncomfortable, there's probably a reason you feel uncomfortable. Exit as quickly as you can and as safely as you can. Cut the date short. There's no problem cutting the date short. Don't stay just to be polite. It's not necessary. Any questions on any of the Q&A that we've had so far? I know it's quick, short and sweet. Okay, team, so it's your turn. Anybody that wants to share any bad dates or scenarios? Of course, I have a few. When I was a much younger person, we went into the city to a loft party. It was not a big party, it was a smaller party, but they did have a bartender that set up their own drink stand and was serving the drinks. I don't drink a lot, so I like to have one drink, but I was on one drink and somebody slipped something into my drink and it was very apparent that it was spiked. My friend was trying to get me out of there quickly, but this guy kept being aggressive and trying to keep me there. It was a bad situation. We got out of there very quickly, but that's the only time that I know that my drinks have been spiked, and it was horrible. I was so sick. I hope nobody ever has to go through that. Keep going. There was one other party that we went to in the city, and so it could be a private party or it can even be a public party. There was a group of us that went to a bar takeover party, like it was just a private event, huge event in a bar, and they had the professional bartenders. Well, somebody spiked my girlfriend's drink, and she went from like being fine to vomiting and getting sick immediately. You know, at that point, something's wrong. Somebody spiked her drink, and we took her straight out, got a taxi, took her home, and just tried to get it out of her system, because you could tell immediately when your drink is spiked, because you go from being fine to not being fine, and it's a bad situation. And hopefully your friends, if they see this, will get you out of that situation quickly. So that's all we have for tonight. If there's any other comments or any questions, please chime in. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. If you go out on a first date, please be safe and be aware. Hope you have a great evening, and put your safety first. Plan to survive, refuse to die. See you on the next slide.